Hello YouTube, Blade here, and I'm playing Agricultural Simulator 2013. Where we left off yesterday, or previous episode, we had just harvested a field of wheat, discovered how to drop it off into the silos, as well as how to load it into the seeder. So today I figure we get a baler to clear up that field, and to get those the swaths or whatever it's called that is still on the ground. 5,000, very cheap. Hope it is usable for what I need it to be. There it is. My extension is just getting a bit dirty. Also, if I'm sounding a bit hoarse today, it's because my throat aches a bit. Hope it's nothing serious. I really like making these videos, and I do hope that you get some entertainment from it. And I do like your comments. So if you have anything, any comments, suggestions, likes, dislikes, anything, just post them, and I read all of it, and I reply if needed. I am fairly new at making YouTube videos or let's play things. A lot of people is discarding this game because of the buggy nature. I can totally understand them. I've seen some video clips about how buggy the game can be. I've experienced it myself, but overall I find that the game is playable. So I would just keep playing for as long as I can. They are discussing releasing a patch this week, and what happened when they released the last patch was that the save game just wasn't compatible. So if that happens this time as well, I just restart and do that off screen. I may do some part on screen, so to let you know about the changes that's being done. Otherwise I just do all the stuff off screen and restart the recording when I get to a point that I haven't covered yet. As I said last episode, I have lost my piggies. I don't know why they died. There is feeding troughs in the pens, so to speak, but whatever, I tried to give them grass, I tried to give them hay or straw, and I tried to give them corn instead of putting it on the bench as I do in the stable for the cows and the sheep. But they just weren't interested in eating it, so they just died. It could be a bug that it just disappeared, but it makes no sense to me. I do manage to, well, I didn't do anything really, but the sheep has produced a third sheep. I think I started out with two, but it seems to be kind of slightly bugged as well, because as I was leading it out into the paddock, or the yard to be grazed, next to the barn, because I figured that I only need to, according to the help files, to have them reproduce, and so I figured I just do that, and I just keep two in the barn for that purpose, and the rest, well, I don't think that was supposed to happen. It's like a skeet shooter. And the rest I keep out in the fields or the paddocks and get them fed up, and that way I don't have to feed them or anything like that. They don't produce anything, but I don't have to worry about running low on feed. As it is right now, the thing that I'm running low on is grass. However, this baler works. I would think to gather up the grass to make bales, so I just need to get a mower. The front mower doesn't work because front attachment is still bugged, but I can get the rear attached mowers and then get the rotor to combine it into single line, and I will be able to get grass bales as well, and I can buy corn in town. It's not that expensive, and for now one bag of corn is enough to feed my cows and sheep for about 3 days. I also have one for my chicken, and that lasts a little bit longer, and I think I've gained 6 chickens. I think I started out with 19, but I didn't really pay attention to them in the beginning. Whoa. So some of them escaped, I think. Okay, again, this is a bug. We know now the baler isn't shooting at the bales at the back, which it's supposed to do, but we live and learn, and it works. So for a long time I just had like 10 chickens. Okay, doors. That would explain why it's shooting me out. Right? Thought that was automated. Well, never mind. So anyway, for a long time I only had 10 chickens, but now you don't really lead them into the chicken coop. They go there by themselves. But now there's 16. This I think is bugged. It says 1, but 1 what? And there is nothing there. As I said, I tried to lead the sheep there, but I guess you can't lead the sheep to the paddock. And in the barn, the stable, it says 3 sheep, 1 bull, 2. It's supposed to be cows, I'm fairly certain of. Don't have any though, or it doesn't show. I would like to get the deers as well, but the animal is a nice addition, nice aspect, and I think I mentioned it before. The way to really increase the value of your livestock is to put them in the barn at night and then pull them out in the morning, so they can graze the fields next to the stable, and then again at night you get them into the barn. Okay, I just don't seem to be that good of a driver today. Whoa. Turn. And also the road is kind of slippery. If you get off the field and onto the road, you do gain a lot more speed, and then you have to be careful when you turn and stuff. Otherwise you just slide around. But yeah, I will pause the video here as I gather up those bales. I think I will use the small red trailer next to the old tractor over there. If that doesn't work, I take the one that's inside the barn that was one of my previous purchases that is very difficult to load. However, the dev team has said that they will go over the camera angles. They are aware of the issue with loading the trailers, so they are looking into it. It's something that's come up internally as well, and it's good. The devs are working really hard to make this game playable and as bug free as possible, and kudos to them. I feel the game has great potential. I think that the game is fun, even with the bugs that it is containing at the moment. It certainly, for me, is very much playable. I'm not prone to rash decisions, and I'm kind of mellow in my nature, so I'm okay with this. It's no game-breaking bugs for me. I mean, I could understand that if I had to redo stuff all the time because of bugs, game crashes, things like that, that I would consider the game to be unplayable, and I know that some people are experiencing that. I guess I'm just one of the few lucky ones that doesn't encounter those issues. I mean, I do encounter some of them, but not at the frequency that will discourage me from playing. So I'm just pleased with the game so far. Okay, that field produced 2 bales, and there's one in the baler. Okay, let's do it. That's okay. Now I just hope I can load them here. Ooh, that's a big straw bale. It's 1500. I wasn't aware of that. But I am strong apparently, so ooh, I may not be able to load that onto there. Unless maybe I do it the other way around. Come here, baler. Here. Come, baler. Here. Not baler, come bale. Yes, you can do it. Overcome the struggles. No? Okay, rest. Okay, it seems like I have to pull this by hand to the barn over here. Which tells me that I will probably place the next field on this side or extend this one in this direction. Well. Anyway, sorry if I got sidetracked a bit. I will clear out the bales, replow the field, replant the seed, all those fun stuff off screen, and I'll probably do that field over there off screen as well, and I will be back as soon as there is any kind of development. See you soon. Okay, I'm back. I managed to pull one of the bales in here, and I figured that if I put it up here, it will maybe work as one of the smaller ones, and it did. It broke itself up into a bunch of smaller bales. And then I realized that there is a baler trailer, and so instead of pulling the bales by hand, you can get the trailer and load it there. So I did buy one of those, and it was a bit tricky to pull the bale up on top of it, but I managed. There it is. So I brought the baler here, figured that, ooh, maybe this is the door. You know, you just put the bale in front of it and it's automatically get up there. Didn't work. So what I had to do is I had to pull the bale in here to the stairs, and then, you know, I tried to get it up the stairs. Very difficult, didn't work. But then I tried to stand here and pull the bale up here, and eventually I managed to get it up, so it's there. It hasn't split up into smaller pieces yet, and I really needed to, because this is a problem. Cows, as you see, it's also for grass as well as straw, and I think I've noticed that they use the grass more than they use the straw, and I think I need to give them both. And I only have like one small grass bale left, so what I need to do now is basically, you know, empty out half of this side, you know, pull this bales out one by one, and put up the grass bale that I have left there. However, as I said, there is a problem, because I would assume that a grass bale used with a baler will also become one of those bigger ones. Oh, where's the grass bale there? Like the straw bale, and there we go. And what that means for me, I guess, is that I cannot fit the entire thing in at once. But I like the fact that it's automated in a way. You know, you don't really have to do the stacking by yourself. You just toss it in there, and they're set. So I decided to go and buy the mower, the rear mower. It's 13,000, but it's money that I need, or it's an equipment I need, because I do feel that I must have grass for my cows and sheep. Again, I don't know if the mechanics are detailed yet, as what am I saying? Yeah, if there is a difference, because there is no difference between the loose grass and the grass bales, but I think there's a difference between the grass and straw bales. Okay, well, there we go, attached. Now we just go find some plot of grass, which I do have plenty of. I really wish the front weights would work. And we mow some parts of the grass. Then I get the baler and see if I can collect it, which would be very nice if I could. Now, as I said, I will extend that field in the direction towards the lake, just because it's shorter distance to travel with the bales. So what do? We lower, right? We lower and activate. And we're mowing the grass. Maybe we need to mow slower. Another thing I don't really know is how long will it take for the grass to grow back. But if I can give them one small grass bale, my cows, I'm talking about my cows and my sheep, and it lasts for a few days, then a large bale would break up into around 20 of those smaller ones, which is just awesome. And that will definitely provide me with enough grass for several days. And the field, the wheat field, take about 20 to 21 days to fully grow in, to be ready to harvest. I do hope the grass grows faster, because in real life grass really do grow fast, and in real life wheat doesn't grow in 20 days, I think. So that is the machine. Next step is to see if I can use the baler to gather it up. I hope I can. I hope the baler won't tell me that it contains straw, and it will not allow me to mix the two. I hope it will actually allow me to mix the two. It will save a bunch of time, and also make sure that this wasn't a bad purchase. disconnect and disconnect. The other side. I'm glad that we can't get injured in the farm. Damage isn't in yet, because I am sure that as a farmer I would be dead already with the machinery falling on top of me, pulling large bales by hand. You know, just in general. I have flipped my tractor a few times as well, so if I was a worker helping someone else on their farm, they would probably fire me on the spot. Make sure that I don't work in a farm ever again. I'd actually blame the physics setting for the tipping of the tractor and the lack of a front weight ability. I mean, a tractor like this doesn't really slide as much in real life as this one does. And it doesn't make any sense why it would do that. I guess it does it because the back is definitely being okay, let's load that. There is no front weight, so the tractor itself is unbalanced, and the attachment at the back is so heavy. So the front wheel doesn't really get a full grip on the road. So let's just hope that this one, it does list that I have 162 out of 500. But damn, it also have an empty button. So you press that. There. I don't know where it emptied it out to, or if it did, or it just vanished into the same place where your out socks go when you do the laundry. So yeah, let's give it a try. Please work. I need to grass straw grass bales. And also I need to cut down trees. I would really love to cut down some trees. No, there we go. It works. This is so awesome. Of course I don't get much, but it works. So I'm happy enough to get when I get one bale, because then I know I can keep my animals alive. I can buy corn in the city, and that's just pure awesomeness, I guess. And the large bales, they have no value, but I think once you break them down, they do get some value. It's not much though. It's like what, 200, something like that. Okay, this is like driving on a skate rink. Why? What should I get from that? Yeah, I figured this patch might give me the 500 I need. So, since it's so difficult to operate, I continue that offline. And it's possible that I end the episode here, just to see how long it is. Otherwise I will be back with some interesting development. Bye for now.